Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, tbkc, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Okay. Good question, you know what I'm saying, from my man up there in Canada, Brian, and I'm gonna get with you on this one. Raw diet versus kibble diet. What are the differences? What are the ups, the downs, the pros, the cons, what is being said? This is what I'll tell you. I use both. I use both. I do feed chicken quarters. I do feed ground beef. But I do feed kibble. I use Victor High Pro kibble now. At times, some of the dogs did like sports mitts, but like I told you in the previous video, they're having recalls. So I think I'll stay with Victor for foreseeable future. Now, this is the biggest problem, I'll say. When you get kibble, let's not say problem, but let's start with kibble. Get you a good kibble. That's the first thing when you're comparing them. Victor is a very high quality food. Merrick is a very high quality food. Diamonds has been quality for a long time. Some people try to bash it because they had some recalls, but Diamond has been a staple for a lot of kennels for years, whether it's Diamonds or some of their other products like Taste of the Wild or the Pro 89. They've got good foods, man. I'm not gonna bash them. It's many a good foods out there, let's just put it that way. But you have to make sure that it's a good food. Now, one of the ways that's easier to tell is the stool samples. You know, if your dog is having sort of smaller stools, very hard stools, like I noticed with Victor, my dog's basically shit bricks, you know, and it's very small. You know, it's not a ton of poop, basically. That's a good sign that the digestion process is going good and they're getting the most out of the dog food. When you feed cheaper foods like puppy chow and some of the, you know, the lower pedigree brands and stuff like that, especially foods like Dad's, you're gonna get a lot more poop, and it's going to sometimes be softer and mushier because it's a lot of corn and it's a lot of byproducts in there that their bodies really just don't digest, so they shit it right back out. They get some of the contents but not all of them. It's similar to when you feed raw. Typically when you feed a raw diet, the stools are very, very hard, very, very solid. You know, with chicken sometimes it seems like it comes out like chalk, and you know, the nutrients are great. You know, you see good, healthy, shiny coats from both high quality foods. And that's the difference, I think, where people have this strong debate about the kibble versus the raw. The biggest thing is quality, you know, because one of the biggest issues with the raw diet is people don't really know how to do it, and they don't know how to properly balance the diet. That becomes a big issue because they give a ton of meat, you know, because the meat makes your dog huge. It makes your dog look good, shiny, all of this stuff. But they don't feed the proper vegetables, the proper fruit. They're not given a daily vitamin to make sure that the vitamin content is okay. And this is what good dog foods do. It's already balanced. It's already doctors and nutritionists that are behind these foods that are deciding, you know, your dog needs this and this and this, and it's all in one bag. Whereas to a lot of people who feed raw, just go throw the dog chicken, you know. Whereas the good people who feed raw, you know, in many different ways. So I've seen some people that put it in a crock pot or whatever. But, you know, they'll feed their dogs different things, you know, from cabbage to carrots to apples to, you know, all kind of different fruits and vegetables and different things to balance out the diet. So if you're going to feed a raw diet, it can be very, very good for your dog. A lot less sodium, you know, definitely no byproducts and natural foods, but you do run the risk of sodium. I mean, of a higher sodium intake, and you sometimes sugar intake, believe it or not, and you also run the risk of excuse me, I'm confusing the two. That's with dog food, with the kibble. You know, if I didn't say that, excuse me, going back and forth. But yeah, with kibble, you know, it's a sodium intake, byproducts, and different things of that nature. With the raw, you run the risk of unbalanced diet, and even more importantly, the issue of bacteria. Anytime you're dealing with raw meat, especially, you run a high risk of bacteria. Now, I tell you, one of the ways is you don't cook the meat, but especially with chicken, most hot water tanks are at a temperature that will kill, the bacteria at its hottest. So what I've done with the chicken for years is I just run the I just run the hot water as hot as possible, put a little bit of vinegar in the water, and let them sit in there for 5 to 10 minutes and let it kill off that bacteria. And things go a lot smoother that way. But either way, if you're going to do it, research it properly. Find out the proper way to do the barf diet, which that's the raw diet. And if you're going to do your dog foods, research your dog foods. And I'm going to tell you this. If you're doing like the kibbles, and that's what I'm saying on dog food, it's okay to pay a little extra. I know some people think, okay, this bag is, $25, 50 pounds, that's it. And they might see another bag that's 40 pounds for, extra, 10 to 15 bucks. I'll promise you, money-wise, you're going to balance out the same. Your dogs, when they eat a high-quality food, tend to eat a lot less. When they eat the cheaper foods, they just devour it because they're still hungry. They're not getting their nutritional needs met, with smaller amounts. When I feed Victor, you'd be surprised, my dogs can hold their weight off of literally a few cups a day. And I'm putting, like, a lot of times I give them like 5 cups, but they rarely ever eat it. Those 5 cups will last 2 days. They'll nibble on it, nibble on it, nibble on it, but they stay good. Their eyes stay clear. Everything is working out for them a lot better. So, think about that. Invest in your dog's food. You're not going to save money by being cheap on the dog food. Buy a better brand of food. Buy a good quality food. And, cut down on the amount that you do, and you'll be surprised how your dog still maintains weight, or sometimes even goes up in weight. But you'll notice the coat will be a little shinier because of some of the things that they do with the omegas and different other products inside those foods. But it's an absolute must. I don't think that there's a definite right, and I know people get, oh, raw diet is the only way. Believe me, dogs have been living for 100 years on kibble. But there's not a right or a wrong way to do this. But whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to feed your dog, quality is a must. Quality and preparation when you get to talking about, especially the raw. Preparation has to be a must. You have to do the things to make sure that you're cutting down on the transmission of different bacterias big time. And most of the time, like I say, a little hot water, some vinegar, that does the trick in most cases. I know even with the beef, a lot of breeders use apple cider vinegar in the beef, which the beef is a lot less issues than the chicken. The chicken just is very, very nasty little thing. So, hopefully this helps you out. But the one thing I'll tell you, this video will never be long enough. Research your foods. I gave you some brands, Victor, Diamonds. Some people like Nutro, and they talk about that. Merrick is another super high price food, but people love it. It's a lot of foods that I can go on and on and on about. But feel free for people who are using a good food and are happy with it to post the food on this video and help other people out. But nutrition can be done in many different ways, but the key word that you'll always want to use is quality. Sometimes it's a convenience thing with the kibble. Sometimes, people just love feeding the raw. But whichever way you do, go with high quality, just like you would put into, well, I ain't going to say that. Some of y'all out here still eating all this damn McDonald's and carrying on. Y'all stop that. It's killing you. But eat like you should eat. Let's put it that way. High quality foods that nurture the body and not just the taste buds. Until next time, y'all, God bless. Peace.